Maybe I got the notification too. Yeah, because we on St. Benji, right?
Okay, yeah, all right, got you.
Shalom. We are the brothers of the Great Millstone, the branch here in Chicago. And first and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'asam, Yahushai, Ba'asam, Rakakudas.
double honors unto the apostles and the elders, double honors unto the elder bishops in Connecticut. Salutations to all our fellow laborers that are doing this work, and to the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, to the few aquas that are listening and learning. All right, so we're just going to go right into this thing. And as you see, the title is The Hedge is being removed from around these Idumeans. They are not safe in their stolen country.
That's right.
There are lots of things that are happening to them in some of the most prestigious neighborhoods all over America. You know, up where the jiu-jitsu studio is in a very prestigious neighborhood. You got $1 million condos right across the street from us, and they are victims of crime. And as a matter of fact, and it's kind of fitting because that whole neighborhood used to be all Ephraim. You know, so they basically stole Humble Park and has broken it up. You know, now you got Bucktown, Wicker Park, and all the stuff over there. Now, you know, like I said, that hedge is being removed, and these Edomites want to hire armed private security, which is just going to cause a bunch of racial strife. It's a lot. Yeah, so things are getting pretty bad, man, and so we're gonna allow this.
They be lamenting on TV. They're like, it's so frustrating that because they're paying millions, you know, to basically not have that security. Because there was a woman that basically you could tell she wanted to say like, it was because of them.
Yeah,
there's crime and they get mad, man.
Well, that whole area that they call West Town also, which is just a little bit south of Wicker Park. That was all Wicker Park, Bucktown, and West Town was all Humble Park.
That's right.
And it was all Jake over there. When you got off at Damon in Milwaukee, that was all Jake. Because I used to go over there when I was a kid, when I was a teenager. I used to fit right in with the Ephraimites. They thought I was one of them. And I was over there all the time. And I had a client that lives in West Town, right on not Superior, but Erie. Yeah, Erie or Superior, one of them, I forget. But they were always complaining, and this was going back, 5-6 years ago, how they were constantly getting robbed by Ephraimite women. They were, these Ephraimite girls were snatching their purses and shit like that. Her neighbor came out, for work with her fancy purse handbag, and she got, two Ephraimite girls rolled up on her, put the flops on her, poked her, and they hit her in the rear with a knife, and jumped in the car and drove off in the car with her expensive handbag. But like you said, that hedge is being removed. From matter of fact, somebody can grab that. Let's let that video play. Bob Kusha.
Okay.
And he's gonna mention Bel Air. You remember the Fresh Prince? The Fresh Prince of Bel Air. That's that neighborhood.
In the Hollywood Reporter, it's literally escaped from LA. What is happening here throughout the state? It's not just happening in LA, but it's happening all over. But there is an absolute explosion of crime in Los Angeles. Retail robberies and home burglaries are exploding, and it's happening in the nicest, wealthiest areas. They will take your dog. I think we remember when Lady Gaga's dog walker got shot and they stole her, I believe they were French bulldogs. They will take your Rolex watch, your Patek Philippe, your wallet, your car, any type of jewelry you have. They will take your life. It's happening in Santa Monica, Bel Air, Brentwood, Beverly Hills. Violent crime in Beverly Hills in the last 12 months is up 25%. Now, that's astonishing to think that Beverly Hills would even have crime. Crime is beginning to explode. And so, in this article, people living in these wealthy areas like Santa Monica, Pacific Palisades, Beverly Hills, Brentwood, they're installing safe rooms, safe doors, underground bunkers in some cases, private security, 24/7 security details. I mean, it's unbelievable what is happening. And I think to myself, and I know many of you are thinking the same thing, what does this look like in 2022? What does this look like the longer this economy erodes and decays? What's it going to look like when the markets crash? Now, I know market's up today, everything's fine, everybody's going to be complacent, nobody's worried about risk. You know as well as I do, this cannot continue. And when the stock market goes...
And see, that was beautiful. Hand claps. That was beautiful, man. Because, like you said, that hedge protection is being removed from around these Idumeans, and they're not safe any longer in their stolen country. You know, bring it out, brother Babakasha.
Okay, this is Psalms 89 and 40. Thou hast broken down all his hedges.
Ooh.
Thou hast brought his strongholds to ruin. Okay, so between that one and this one here, which is Deuteronomy 28 and 66, and thy life shall hang in the doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have no assurance of thy life. See, these was all curses that was on the Israelites.
God.
But now 30 and 7, Deuteronomy said that these go ahead, John. Go ahead.
Bring it out.
Go ahead, you got it.
Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. The Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee.
So they passing, and as they pass over to them, they got to deal with what we had to deal with all our life here in America and whatnot for generations.
Right, and they're not safe in their stolen streets.
That's right.
Because you know, it's like the brother Yuana always says. He always says that that you know, you Idumeans, you're walking around on every place that you are and everything that you own is stolen. You're on stolen land. Everything that you have doesn't belong to you, and you got unrighteously. But Elder Karab, you got something, brother?
Yes, Proverbs 11 and 8. It says, the righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked cometh in his stead. So everything, we've been in trouble on these curses. Now the Lord is flipping it, and you're going to take our place.
That's right. That's right. That's why they're trying to entreat thee well, man. Matter of fact, let me get that. And I'm going to tell you something that I just found out from my older sister today in conversation. This is Job 20 and 10. And it reads, his children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. And you got a lot of them, you know, they always trying to give Jake money or do something for Jake. Well, my sister, out of nowhere, right, she just retired from the American Medical Association. She's with them almost 30 years. This is my oldest sister. All right. And matter of fact, we had a conversation. She said she only thinks, in all honesty, she only really got a job because she's so fair-skinned. You know, she was really, you know, like complected. She could be Puerto Rican or something, my oldest sister. And she's, you know, she was very fair complected. And and I've seen how Esau would treat Jake like a dark-skinned Jake versus a light-skinned Jake. That Willie Lynchism is real, man.
Yeah.
But to make the long story short, she received a $5,000 check in the bank from her ex-boss. So what's happening out of her personal funds? All right, like I heard a sister talk about how these old Idumeans on their deathbed start admitting shit and
Right.
talking about shit because they're trying to clear their conscience because they know they're going before the judgment throne. Mm-hmm. All right, and so they start talking. So basically, what she did was she sent my sister that $5,000 because 15 years ago she blocked my sister, from a promotion that she was gonna have simply because she was Jake.
Oh.
And so she admitted she wrote a letter, and a long letter, and admitting that she did it and she was sorry, and and that she was one of the best workers she ever had, and simply she just didn't want to see a Jake advance, and she didn't want to see her go to the next level.
Wow.
So and I was like, damn. And so she gave her $5,000 out of her pocket, to try to make up as some sort of restitution. But you know what? I'm like, well, good. I hope you enjoyed it and bought yourself something nice and did something. But that ain't enough, because you can't buy your way out of this ass whooping you got coming. There's nothing you can do, man. And you can't buy. Now, clearly, you can buy off General Gehenna, and some of the heads of IUIC. And some of these other groups is now all of a sudden under 501c3 charter, but you're not buying off the true men of the Lord, man.
I got something for you. It's Zephaniah 1:18. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. It says, but the whole land shall be devoured in the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land.
Right. So you want to pay us with some RFNs that's failing, that's about to crash, that's worth nothing? Will it take 20 RFNs to buy something that only took 2 to buy 20 years ago?
Which proves that's not real money. Real money never gets to buy.
Exactly. And then at this point you can't even give us gold, because if you give us gold, you give them what's already ours. You stole all our gold going back thousands of years ago, man.
That's it.
All right.
Got scripture. This is James 5:3. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire.
Hey, Con, it's just like the guy said in the video. What's going to happen when the dollar crashes? What's going to happen in 2022 when they institute these, because they tried to make all the money that they could possibly make. That's why they set this thing to go on the 3rd and the 4th. All right, because if this thing was really as bad as they say, they just would have shut everything down immediately. But you still having basketball games, football games, large gatherings, shalom, brother, and things of that nature, man. Why? Because, well, we're not gonna get into that. We don't want to get a strike tonight.
Yeah.
Go get a chair. If you go get a chair, then you can go over here on this other side.
But nevertheless, man, the system is failing, man. And so all these prestigious neighborhoods in Chicago, in LA, in Philadelphia, in Connecticut, in New York, in all these prestigious neighborhoods that are in these states, in these big major cities, none of them are going to be safe, man.
That's right. And the beautiful part is it's the opposite of what they've been doing for so long. For so long they lived deliciously. So long they have taken advantage of our people. For so long they've brought us down, and now the same things that they've been putting on us is about to come right back on them. This is Psalm 73 and 2. But as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped. I was envious of the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there's no bands in their death, for their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men. They are not plagued like other men. And see, they've gotten so long of being at the top, not being bothered, not being able to being these the so-called untouchables. Now the Most High touching all on their heads, right? Therefore, pride compasses them about as a chain. Violence covers them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than their hearts can wish. I'm old enough to been to over, like you said, to Bucktown, to Wicker Park, in that area. I remember going over there to see Issachar and my friends back in the day as a young Judite, going all the way over there. And I was a sore thumb out of place, but I was cool with Issachar. Now you go over there, like you said, it's nothing but Edomites everywhere. And the popos treat you like shit. The neighborhoods treat you like shit. You be over there delivering food or whatever, and it's still going through hell, and that was our area. You know what I'm saying? So now it's beautiful to see the Most High tearing down Esau and his comfortability. He's not comfortable anymore. He's walking around there, guarded and looking around and feeling like you just went in the middle of Jake Hood and just set up shop over there in Pilsen. I think about on 18th.
Same thing in there.
Yeah.
I remember driving through Pilsen, man, when I was doing Lyft, and you saw spray painted on the garages, white leave, get out of our neighborhoods. We don't want you. You can see that all the time.
Psalms 37, I'm going to start at 8. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil.
That's right.
And, wants us to be patient, For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yeah, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. But the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. So it was always set up.